stop running now.
Hey y'all, welcome back to our channel. We're back with another chit chat, sit down video, couples Q&A, whatever you would like to call it, but I know y'all saw that title. So today we are going to discuss divorce, marriage, and family. We felt like this topic was very timely with everything that's going on in the world because so many of the issues in our community, the Black community, stem from us allowing society and outside influences other than our culture to fashion our ways of thinking and the way that we do things, and it gets us behind every single time. With everything that's going on right now, it just prompted us to discuss some of the issues that plague the Black community. Disclaimer, we're outside in our garage, so if you guys hear noise, things like outside noises, that's why, because we're outside in the garage.
Yeah, so this is a piggyback off of Follow the Leader, and pretty much, unfortunately, due to the lack of history and a lack of culture and ethnic marker that comes with being a so-called Black man, we following a little bit of everything. And obviously, it has not gotten us to the place that we would like to be. So we just want to come through today and chop it up with you guys from our perspective and let us know if it makes sense to you.
We thought we'd start off by actually speaking about divorce because we know that a lot of people would definitely not agree with our take on divorce, but the way we feel about divorce is it's not an option. A lot of people say it's not an option when they go into a marriage, but in the back of their mind, it is an option to them. But the only reason that it's an option is because
say it loud.
The law or the legal system or the government has made it an option. That's the only reason that it's an option. If we came into this knowing that this is my life partner, first of all, first and foremost, you have to know that you are coming into covenant with the right person, okay? So I'm not saying stay in the marriage if you married the wrong person, because I mean, I ain't telling you to get divorced either because you made that decision. That's not my jurisdiction. But the number one thing we have to make sure that we do is to get married for the right reasons and to get married to someone that we're compatible with as far as culture, way of life, mindset, and beliefs. You know what I'm saying? So that's the number one thing and the number one reason for divorce, because people don't get married for the right reasons. Even just getting married for love is the wrong reason.
Yeah, definitely, because love is a term that's defined by who's ever speaking it. So we don't want to get married for love. We want to get married to raise families and to come into an agreement. And the only reason why we are still here today is because we got married for the right reason. We didn't get married under the right context, but in our hearts, we really wanted to be with one another till death do us part and really create a real covenant and build a family.
Yeah.
And the Most High honored that.
Yeah, we got married when we were 21. Everybody thought I was pregnant.
Yo, this is real talk, okay? If my fellas, my young fellas see this, if you ever find a woman that you cannot see yourself without, it don't matter what nobody else say. It don't matter what America say. It don't matter what the supposed societal, cultural paradigm is. You get married after you show your world oaths. Like, that's stupid, fam. You're gonna lose that good woman. And you're supposed to be her covering. Not only are you gonna be lonely and have to go through some things, but she may have to go through some things too. So when you find that partner that you want to spend the rest of your life with, man, when you find that woman, when you find that man, you gotta lock that in. Because if you don't, you're going to end up marrying the wrong person, and the divorce rate for you will increase.
And marrying the right person starts with being in alignment with the Creator and being obedient to His will for your life, because, I mean, that's just what it is. That's how you know if you're marrying the right person. If you're in alignment with His will for your life and you're obedient to what He tells you to do, that's how you know you are marrying the right person.
And you got to understand, I don't know really the format, but we just kind of freestyling, you know, y'all rock with us. But you got to understand that you're marrying that person, and not only that person, but you're marrying into their family. So it is so important to look past the person that you're looking at and look at their mama, their daddy, their cousins, their brothers, their uncles. because you getting involved with them people too. You literally coming into a covenant agreement with them people, and they gonna try to get in your mix.
Yeah. So we'll dive off into that because that's good. We had this couple that we met years ago when we first got married. Shout out to Marvina and what's her husband's name?
Frank.
Yeah.
Frank.
Shout out to Marvina and Frank. They told us that we should think of marriage as you think of your siblings or other people in your family. Like, I can't get mad at my brother and be like, I'm about to divorce him. You definitely can distance or separate yourself,
Especially
but
in today's society.
yeah, but those ties and bonds you just can never sever, even if you try. So why is that the idea around a person who you have become one with? Once we have become one, now you are me, so I can't get away from you.
Facts. And this is where we talk about being in alignment. We subscribe to the manuscript. And what a lot of people don't get about the manuscript is Israel, the people whose name is mentioned over 3,000 times, they came into a covenant agreement or a marriage with the Most High. That's what we model our union off of. The Most High is still married to Israel. They had a separation portion, but that's why the Messiah did what he did, to bridge that gap and to restore that union. Israel was unfaithful, and the Most High in his infinite wisdom bridged that gap by being an atonement for their downfall. But you can never break apart a real union. You're never supposed to. Once you get into a contract or a covenant with that woman, that man or woman, that's it. You got to start thinking about it like that, because when you break that agreement, you break the family.
Yeah.
Think about your kids. Think about their kids. Think about their lifestyles, how they have to change and adjust to how you feel.
Yeah.
Is that fair? We got to operate from a different paradigm.
Yeah, and you'll be surprised at how much knowing that that's an option legally plays a part in your marriage and in your mental state and in your psyche, because I believe that marriage would be taken a lot more serious to other people who don't subscribe to the manuscript if they knew, like, once you do this you can't undo it. A whole lot of people would take marrying someone a lot more serious if they knew that once you do this it's illegal to undo it. I think the fact that it's believed to be optional is why so many marriages don't last, and why so many people have it in the back of their mind, like, as soon as you do one thing I don't like, I'm out of here.
I'm not happy anymore. You're not making me happy.
Yeah. To move on to our next point that you brought up, we had to backtrack, complete our thought, and now we're gonna move on. Now we're gonna move on to your thought when you were speaking about when you marry somebody, you have to make sure that you're marrying into the right family. That's a perfect segue into the next point, because marrying into the right family has everything to do with culture. And if you're not marrying into a family that has culture or a way of life that is in alignment with where you're trying to take your family, it's gonna be so hard for that thing to work. You know what I'm saying? Like,
how can two walk together except
they agree? Yeah. And it's no shade or disrespect to family members who maybe aren't married, but just it's common sense, and it just is what it is. For instance, if you marry a woman whose mother, for instance, isn't married, that is going to be hard for that mother. In most cases, there are some cases where people who aren't married do respect marriage. So I'm not saying it's, that's in all cases. But you can still respect something but not understand how it works because you've never done it. It could sometimes be hard marrying into a family that doesn't have a history of marriage and family.
Let's just call it what it is. We come from a place of dysfunction. Single parent household, whether it be mainly the woman raising the children or sometimes the man if he gets custody. And that's an unbalance. So if I'm trying to do things in a balanced, functional way, yet everybody around me is living in an unbalanced, dysfunctional way, that's gonna strain my relationship, because everybody gonna look at me like, well, why y'all trying to do stuff right? Everybody else, they may not say it, but that's what they gonna think. Everybody else is a certain way. Why you trying to strive to do better? Like, because I want to be balanced and function properly and cancel out the things that I was plagued with by giving my children real culture and a real foundation to gaze their lives off. I'm wrong off of that, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think a big reason for that mindset and thought process is because the model of family is off.
Broken.
Yeah, the model of family is broken. It's like your extended family is up here and your actual immediate family that you're creating with the person that you have come into covenant with is like all the way down here.
We'll get to that if we get a chance to.
Yeah. A lot of people won't admit it, but yeah, they love their husband or their spouse, but they don't play when it comes to their mama or their sister or their brother. It's like,
tell us she lying. She ain't lying. That's a fact.
It's just the truth. So when you decide to take a stance that I'm a wife first, I'm a mom first, it's like you putting your family on the back burner. This is
For
my
him?
family.
For him? Where he come from?
But yo, this is like off subject but on subject. When I got pregnant with Gigi, I was talked about so bad for being pregnant by my husband. Like, she having another baby? Like, I am married to this man. I don't care if I have 101 kids like the Dalmatian. This is my husband. The paradigm of family is off. So a lot of people try to project their feelings and their experiences on you. So it's looked at like, don't have all them kids by that man, because if y'all break up, you gonna be by yourself with them kids. Like, why you was at my wedding thinking about
Exactly.
when we break up if I had too many kids?
And they ask you, right, do you got any objections?
Yeah.
I mean, where was you at then, fam? Why you ain't saying nothing then? You was in there just smiling. Now you got all this to say about me having, like, cut it out.
You objected 11 years later.
Come on, fam. And that's supposed to be family. Yeah, you really care about me, you know?
But I understand that because most of these opinions, and like I said earlier in the video, there are people who aren't married who respect marriage and who can understand and respect things that they've never dealt with. But that's not most people, especially women, because they think with their emotions. So women project on you things that they have been through and things that they feel. So a lot of times these opinions and mind frames came from women who ain't never been married or had a functioning family. So you're thinking that this is gonna happen to me because of something that happened to you or because of what you see around you or what you've seen around you. And that goes back to what we're saying, when you're trying to do something a certain way and everybody around you is doing something another way. It's like, why you trying to do that? Like, and I know other women have felt this because I felt it. At the end of the day, I knew that there was nothing wrong with me having a child, but that did make me feel like what I already knew. Like, when people found out I'm pregnant again, people gonna have something to say. Like, I didn't express or announce. We didn't announce that I was pregnant until I was 5 months pregnant, not because I feared what people would say, but because I was a high-risk pregnancy at the time, and I just wanted to focus on being healthy and
Staying out of the stress.
yeah, keeping my baby healthy and staying out of the way. But that just added fuel to the fire. Like, she hiding because she pregnant, because she ashamed. Like, how am I ashamed to be pregnant by the man that the Most High has given me and that has found me to build a family with? And like, and it was my daughter. Like, there was nothing about the situation that I was ashamed about. But it's sad that as women, when you're growing your family, you get shamed for that. Like how people say victim shamed or whatever. Like, there's such thing as mommy shamed. Like, when you pregnant and people feel like you done been pregnant too many times, it's like, you pregnant again? Like,
So let me speak to the situation. Let's do a balance here, okay? This construct of a young family with 3 kids looking to have more, or younger families who got 3, 4, 5, 6 kids, that's beautiful. Especially those who say they're believers and you read the Bible. That's what the families in the Bible is based off. Big families coming together, living together, growing together. That's what it was all about. Not, I got a baby here by this dude, I got a baby by this dude, I got a baby by this dude, and then I finally get married, and now we got all these other type problems because we blending and mixing families. It's just like, which way works better? We gonna take feelings out of it. Which way works better and keeps down problems? Building a family from the beginning and not worrying about what nobody else is talking about.
Yeah.
Having a real culture.
Things happen, life happens, but if
We get that.
Yeah, we
We
understand
trying to change
that.
the paradigm though.
Yeah, we're trying to change the paradigm, and we're trying to be proactive instead of reactive.
Exactly.
So if we're proactive in our thinking, that will change our thought process, and our decision making will evolve to a place that gets us in a better situation at the end of the day, and it'll avoid us having to go through so many of the things that we have had to go through as a people.
That's all I was gonna say. If you felt some type of way by my statement, I didn't mean to offend you or disrespect you. Real talk. But you gotta think to the kids that you got. Do you want them going through what you went through? You know, you had it rough with men and all that. Would you want your kid going through that? I know you would.
Your daughter.
Your daughter? So why don't we start teaching our children a different way? That's all I'm saying. If we don't, then your kid's gonna go through the same thing you went through, only worse.
Yeah. Well, the Most High is so good because we talk about this all the time, how it's expected for people to want a boy and a girl and they be like, they done. But we had 2 boys back to back, and then we had Gigi. But when we had our 2 boys, we were not in a place that we needed to be in to have a daughter, to raise her and love her and protect her. Not that our boys did not or do not deserve the same things, but their boys is different. I needed to be a real woman before it was time for me to be an example for a girl. He needed to be a real man before it was time for him to be some girl's father.
Facts.
So that from the beginning she could start off knowing, this is who I am, this is how I'm supposed to be treated. A lot of those insecurities that young girls deal with is because their parents weren't in the right place to cultivate what needs to be cultivated in them. That's how I love my son so much. Like, my sons are, yes, they are. They have been through so much because of our mistakes and have seen and experienced so many things, but it's like they was built for it. They was built for it, and Gigi came at the perfect time when we needed her and we were able to give her what she needs.
Solid. Straight up.
I love my daughter, y'all.
This is my first daughter, of course, but it's like a different feeling, man. I can't explain it. Like the way she looks at me, I'll be driving, you know what I mean, and I'll look back and she'll just really be gazing at me like,
Yeah.
I'm her first love, you know what I'm saying? I couldn't imagine not being around to be that proper interest. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I wouldn't want Lil Junebug from 117 to be my daughter first introduction to a man. Like, nah,
Yeah.
it don't go like that, because he gonna tarnish that. We don't want that.
Yeah. So let's hear us. Every time I look up, you further away, you moving over.
This chair got wheels, so it's like. So we just still rolling, but I had another thought, and I just want to encourage my people. I don't look at the dividing factors, I look at the common denominators. And my people, we come from the same place. We've dealt with the same issues and struggles, and we got the same history. So for that reason, we like this whether we know it or not. And I want to dare you all to be different. We got mad years of doing things a certain way. The supposed black culture is really some trash. The music we listen to, the food that we eat, how inclusive we are, how much self-hate we have towards ourselves and one another. I dare us to be different. I really want us to try being different. And this is the point of this channel. And this is the point of this discussion.
Yeah.
Let's do marriage the right way. The biblical way. Leave to cleave. And that's it.
Yes.
Ain't no divorce. Ain't no none of that. Keep your family tight. Keep all them squares out your circle, and let's build families. And let's build families from the right culture, and that's when we will see God.
Yes, and when we build solid families, that's when we can have solid communities. It's also hard to build solid communities when there aren't any solid families, because you come together with like-minded people. So it's hard. It's not that you don't want to build relationships and form bonds with other individuals, but when every single thing about your life is completely different,
we just walking in circles. For real. I mean, y'all see my hoodie, TCC, truth. That's who we are. The truth of the matter is, we are chosen to live a righteous life. Once you understand that, it will provide you culture. Once you start living out your way of life, your truth, then we all can come together and rebuild communities. Because we used to have something great. It's time to rebuild it. And this is what we stand for. And that comes from being solid. It's just what it is, man. We not trying to do something that's not us. We've been this, we just had to figure it out. And we're going to continue to promote who we are and continue to build relationships with our people, because we don't got no hat in the ring. We don't got we ain't prideful, we ain't none of that. We just really trying to build. Let's build, real talk.
So in order to build, we have to be available. You have to position yourself to be able to build healthy relationships and healthy communities. And the first thing in doing that is to let go of all the relationships that are unhealthy. The word that everybody uses nowadays is toxic, but all of those relationships that don't add to your life and actually are getting you further away from where you're trying to go, you have to let go of those relationships in order to build new relationships and healthy relationships. Like, that's one of the reasons it's widely thought that toxic relationships are there to pull you down and get you off your square. But another reason why those toxic relationships are always there and seem like you can't get rid of them is to not allow you to see that there are people that you can build healthy relationships with, to stand in the way of non-toxic relationships. Because if I'm always in the struggle in this situation in certain relationships, and that's with male, female, family members, friends, whoever it is, if you're always so focused on or engrossed in that relationship, you'll never come to the place where you building healthy relationships. So you're darn sure not gonna have a healthy community.
So we from Cleveland, Ohio, if you didn't know. We stay out in a rural area outside of Cleveland, right? Cleveland has been widely known as the crab bucket. And you know why? Because there's so many dysfunctional relationships that we are scared to let go. So what do? Every time we see a brother trying to do something, they kill him, shoot him down, hate on him, talk about him, tarnish his name, his character. It's literally the crab bucket. And I know this ain't the only city like this, but that's what it is. Toxic relationships. You scared to let go of that toxic relationship, so it holds you back and it ends up extinguishing you. Having toxic relationships is looking at the glass half empty all the time. Let's build fruitful relationships so we can see the good in everything, so we can see the good in everybody instead of hating what they trying to do, who they think they is, what they talking about. I ain't trying to rock. Like, that's corny, man. How long we gonna do that? That's corny. We better than that. Start appreciating people, and the first step to doing that is letting go of all the suckers in your circle. It's time out for that. I don't care what your name is. I don't care what your title is. If you don't mean me well, if you don't mean my family well, you gotta go ahead. It's 2020. Like, people dying for nothing every day.
Yeah.
And you think I'm supposed to hang on to your toxicity cause you uncle such and such? Like, bro, please.
Yeah.
You're not doing that no more.
And you're gonna go through those if you actually take steps in that direction. It's like what do they call it? The stages of grief. You're gonna have the stages of grief when it comes to transforming your life. You're gonna have a wilderness season. You're gonna have a lonely season. You're gonna have a regretful season, feeling
right
like,
she preaching.
Did I do the right thing? Have I made the right decisions? Am I doing the right thing by separating myself in order for me and my family to get to the place where I'm trying to go. But yes, you are doing the right thing. And once, it's like an equation. Once you see that because I'm doing what's best and what I've been called to do, now I'm starting to see results. So it's gonna make it easier for you to keep moving and keep moving and keep moving forward. It's like, all right, 1 + 1 = 2. So it's like lifting weights. You in the gym, making those hard decisions, doing things that are uncomfortable. It's like lifting weights. You're gonna get stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger.
So check out, this will be my last statement. But that's faith. Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Once you take yourself away from everything you know and you see a result, you're not scared to take the next step now because you know it worked for me last time. So literally, I'm stepping and making my own path without nothing in front of me.
Yeah.
That's real faith, but you'll never see it if you're around faith killers.
Yeah.
I'm done. I done said enough. That ain't good. That felt good to me. That ain't good enough.
You helped yourself.
I done helped myself. I preach myself happy on that one. Real talk. Don't let them fool you. Don't let them fool you. Separate yourself from that sucker stuff, and you will truly meet the Most High.
Yeah. And sometimes you need to separate yourself for you. Sometimes you need to separate yourself because you're too dependent on things. Sometimes you need to separate yourself because you're using things, people, and situations as a crutch. It's just all about doing what needs to be done to move forward. Like, things are changing, time is moving on. Like, y'all see everything that's going on in the world. We don't have time to be twiddling our thumbs. If you have been purposed to do something and called to do something, like, the time is now to start to do it. Like, and that's not just to be said because I feel like I'm in a place where I'm being obedient and pursuing things that I've wanted to do for so long. But I wish somebody would have told me and pushed me and said, like, girl, what you waiting for? Like, do it.
That's all it is, and that's all we're trying to present to you all today. We really appreciate you all for hanging out. What was the title of this again?
We done went so far off track. Divorce, marriage, and just the state of our people and how society and the government and everything that's going on has fashioned our view, and that has brought our people as a whole to a place that we're at the bottom.
And we gotta be honest about that. But now is the time to pick yourself up by your own bootstraps and walk proud. That's what we all gonna do. And that's real talk. We're gonna do that from this day forward because we have to. We appreciate you all for hanging out. You got any closing remarks? We love y'all. We appreciate y'all.
No, y'all know I always say because I always mean it. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all for coming back to our channel each and every time. If you are new to our channel and you enjoy this video and you still here, you might as well go ahead and subscribe. Hit the like button, hit the notification bell. Share this video if it was a blessing to you and you feel like it would be a blessing to someone else. We love you guys so much. We appreciate you guys, and we'll see you in our next video.
My life wasn't perfect, yeah, I know that now. When it came crashing down, all I know is that I need you around. When it comes crashing down, all I need is not to feel so much alone. So step inside my zone, baby, you can give me everything I want. Everything I want. Always dance and sing. You're captivating me. All I need is to know that I'm in your heart and never be apart. All I need is not to feel so much alone. So step inside my zone, baby. I can give you everything you want, everything